Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Miami Yacht Club and welcome to the 65th annual running of the Miami-Key Largo race, the longest running race in Miami. We're very excited to have you here today. Thank you for registering for the race, first of all, and thank you for joining us today for the Skippers meeting via Zoom. We're excited that we have 76 boats registered. We think that's not so bad coming out of this pandemic. We have the largest fleet of Corsairs that we've ever seen, as far as I know, 15. So it's going to be a really great weekend of racing. I am going to introduce my race co-chair, Juan Nunes, who's going to talk briefly about our staff and volunteers.
Thank you, Hans. My name is Juan Nunez. I co-chair the race committee with Hans. And just on behalf of the Miami Yacht Club, I want to thank everybody who helped, all the volunteers, in particular now the Upper Keys Sailing Club. They're helping us with the finish line on Saturday, and then the starting line on Sunday. And in general, all the clubs that support the race, like Hans says, it's 65 years going. Thank you very much. Hans. Oh, sorry, I forgot in particular, Carol Ewan, who is the PRO for volunteer and helping on the race. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. Yes, it takes a village. I next want to introduce our Commodore, Mark Ingram. Mark?
I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to host you all at our historic yacht club, which is going to be celebrating 100 years in this decade. And I'm so excited to host this historic race, celebrating its 65th year. Hans has been telling me so much about the history of this race, as hundreds of boats have sailed in it in the past. Even Hobie Beach got its name over on Rickenbacker Causeway because of this race. So I really love the history. I'm so happy to keep these traditions alive. It's been a difficult year, but we have a really strong fleet this year, and I understand it's going to be breezy. So it's going to be great sailing weather. I want to really thank our lead sponsor, Anheuser-Busch, who's really stepped up. And I'm sure we're going to have a great award ceremony with their help. And also I'd like to thank our second sponsor, iFly. And with that said, good luck, great sailing to everybody, and back to Hans.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. I have one housekeeping thing I wanted to mention before we turn it over to Carol to go over the sailing instructions. We are back at Gilbert's. As you know, those of you who sailed in the past, they've had a lot of problems, rebuilding their docks, but we are now welcome to come back. I met with their manager, and they want to be sure that we kind of follow their rules. So I sent out an email today. Please reserve a spot for yourself if you plan to be on their docks. Don't wait until you get there Saturday, because you might not have a space. And we can only raft 2 deep. And they really have asked us to be respectful of the other guests, to use their restaurant facilities for food and drink, and to keep our partying somewhat under control. I really hope that people follow those rules, because I'm hoping to have a better relationship with Gilbert's and have more boats there and more fun activities in the future. That's it for me. I'm going to turn it over to Carol, who's going to walk you through the race. Thank you.
Okay, Hans, thank you very much. I feel like I'm sort of an adjunct to this. Hans and his crew have done a really great job of putting this all together and making sure that it's going to go smoothly for all of us. And look forward to seeing you all on Saturday morning. Remember that our warning is at 7:55, and I'll go over the sailing instructions a little bit in a minute. But the first thing that I want to discuss with you is most of the multi-hull classes are pretty well going to be set as far as their categories for racing and for trophies. But the ORC class is it's listed as ORC, but we're having a lot of problems with people getting current certificates. So we're going to mold everyone into the ARC fleets, and we're going to have 4 separate categories in that ARC. We'll have a ARC1 spinnaker, ARC2 spinnaker, ARC3 non-spinnaker, and an ARC4 non-spinnaker. And in that regard, the registrations probably weren't real super clear on what you had to declare, but I need to know tonight so that we can finish the scratch sheet. The scratch sheet is not prepared for the racing portion of this. It will be tomorrow morning. But in the meantime, looking through the registrations, the best I could in the ARC fleets, I'm going to list the boats that I know or think are going to sail in spinnaker. And if there's anybody else who has a spinnaker that's not, their name isn't called out now, I will need you to unmute yourself and tell me that you are going to sail with a spinnaker. So here's what I have for a list. So pay attention. Here we go. We have Elizabeth Bell, Eloisa, Hootman, Imagine, K2, Lady Gray, Lateral Flow, Lunacy, Mystico, Osita, The Rabbit, Team Paradise, Victoria, and Wind Chimes. Those are the only boats that I could discern that have spinnakers. So if there are any other sailors out there, any other competitors who are planning to sail in the ARC and are planning to sail with a spinnaker, could we get you either on chat and or unmute yourself and let me know that you are planning to sail with a spinnaker? I'll give you a minute or two to tell me.
Carol, this is Mike Lingsweiler and Echo. We're planning on playing a spinnaker. Yes.
Echo. Okie dokie. I'll put you in that class. Thank you. Anyone else?
Mystico will not be using spinnaker.
Thank you very much. All right, I'll take you out of that class. Anyone else? Spinnaker or not, if I called you as a spinnaker and you're not planning on it, let me know that too. But for now, I was mostly looking for those that were planning to sail with a spinnaker.
Carol, Elizabeth Bell will not be using a spinnaker.
Very good, thank you. I'll take you out of that list, thank you. Any others that you know of, anybody?
Yes, Gypsy.
I'm sorry, say that again?
The Gypsy, they will sail with a spinnaker.
The Gypsy, okay. I'll put you in, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, all right, so I'm going to leave it with the names that I just called and the corrections that were made from your guys' feedback. And the scratch sheet will be prepared tomorrow morning. If for some reason you see that you don't think you're in the proper class, either spinnaker or non-spinnaker, let me know please before tomorrow night. The scratch sheet will be solid come Saturday morning, but I'd like to have it in enough time for people to have a chance to look at it before they sail on Saturday. So by Friday at say 6 o'clock, I'd like to have it all set up and done so that everybody can review it and know who their competition is. All right. So that being said, I'll go on to the sailing instructions. I can share my screen here and I'll bring up the sailing instructions for the first portion of the race, which is the Miami-Key Largo. You all can get it off of the yacht scoring page, and there are several amendments, so make sure you print those out as well. But the only thing that I'm actually going to really discuss right now is the start sequence and the starting line. I think almost 90% of you have done this race before, so you know what the situation is with our start line. We'll be down by the bridge and about a mile from the bridge. And obviously we'll be set up. You will be heading south. So whatever it takes for you to get there, we'll set the course square to the finish line. And that would be at approximately 180. So the line will be set accordingly. And at the same time, you will note, please, that looking at the starting line and the course as it's going south, the multi-hulls will start on the west side of the line, and the monohulls will start on the east side of the line. And there will be 2 pins out there. They'll be orange that you can use. And then of course the race committee boat will be in the center. Our race committee boat is called the Great Scott. It's a 47-foot bayliner. And we'll be flying all the proper flags as per the sailing instructions. And we will be on the radio approximately 10 minutes before the start. I'll do at 7:45. I will start with a 30-second countdown to 7:45, so that those of you who would like to synchronize your watches and or your GPS calculators, that you'll have the proper start time. So I'll count down 30 seconds, and when I finish with the 30 seconds, we will be at 7:45. That'll give you a chance to sync your watches and be prepared for the 7:55 first warning. All right? So that being said, there's not much else about the sailing instructions that we really need to go through. Again, we're not expecting any protests, so you can go right by that section. But in any case, we do want to make sure that you understand the course and the markers that for some boats you will need to obviously honor. Others will not have to honor them. It's a matter of water and the amount of depth you have on your boats to be able to sail the course without running aground. So please be aware of that and honor the marks accordingly, particularly through the channels. And there is a discussion in there about how you can use your engines through channels if necessary. So that being said, that's the start for Saturday. And the finish line for Saturday will be set up by the Key Largo folks. And I'm trying to see where the picture is for that, but I don't see it here on the sailing. Hans, can you help me out with that? I don't see the picture for the finish.
But it's listed right underneath there, number 10. You just went
Okay.
past
Oh,
it.
it just, I see. You know what? I thought we were going to have a diagram for that one as well, but I guess we don't. All right. Well, that's fine.
Sorry.
Anyway, just read the sailing instructions for the finish. It should be pretty clear. So that's it for the start and finish for the Miami portion of the Miami 2 Key Largo race. And then if I can pull it up, I'm going to try to pull up the Key Largo to Miami race. Here it is. All right, so the Key Largo to Miami race will be Sunday morning. Not all of you are doing this, but just to review, the start for that is this diagram here, as you can see on your screen.
You have to redo it for the other one.
It will either be a pin on each end or a boat. They haven't made clear which way they're going to go with that, but be prepared for either race committee boats and or pins on each side with the main RC boat in the middle. And again, make sure that you stay clear of those. Multi-hulls again will be on the west side and the monohulls will be on the east side, going back to Miami, which would be going north. So if are there any questions at all about that, about the starts? All right, so for the finish on Sunday, I want to be clear about what's happening with the finish on Sunday. Not all of you, again, are racing back, but for those of you who are, I know sometimes it's difficult to see the race committee when you're on your way back. One of the reasons is that we'll probably move away from the intercoastal just to make it so that we're not in the middle of all that intercoastal traffic. So we'll be basically where we are for the start from Saturday morning, but probably a little bit west of that so that we can, again, stay out of all of the motorboat traffic that'll probably be out there for Sunday afternoon. So if you have any questions about it, we will be on channel 69. And if you have questions about where we are, just call us and we'll try to give you our best description of where we are exactly on the finish line. The finish line for Sunday will again be the Great Scott 47-foot bayliner. It's white with a blue bimini on top. So again, we'll be on 69. You can call us at any time. We do not need for you to check in on Saturday morning, so please don't start calling us to tell us that you're there for the start. Not important. We just expect you to be there, and we take the finishes according to those that make it to the finish line. So I have no other real things to discuss as far as the start and or finish of either day. But if there are any questions, I'd be happy to entertain them now.
Carol, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, it's me, Oscar. Since we're not going to be racing ORC, have you decided to establish some sort of a PHRF rating for boats that don't have one?
Yes. For all of you, we're going to take either a perf rating that you've had recent and or something that would be considered national as far as that's concerned. We are probably going to end up grouping the ORC boats into what will end up being our ARC1.
Right.
So you guys are basically going to be sailing against each other anyway, the same way. It's just that we're going to have to apply a rating for you. It won't be your ORC rating. So those of you who are hoping for that, it's not going to happen. But we will try to get something that would be as comparable as possible so that you can maintain the same ratings that you've been using.
Okay.
But it'll probably be just, the first class will probably be pretty much the ORC, and then ARC2 will be all the other spinnakers.
And hopefully you'll have this established by sometime tomorrow, I would imagine.
Yes, by tomorrow at 6, I'm hoping to have everything sorted so that we can actually have something prepared so you can see it before Saturday morning. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm going to work very diligently on it tomorrow morning and make sure I've got everybody sorted the best I can. And again, anybody has any problems with the class that we put you in, make sure that you write to me and or to Hans and let us know so that we are putting you where you actually belong. I'd really hate to see somebody sailing in a non-spinnaker class that's sailing with a spinnaker. That's my goal, is to make sure you guys end up with apples and apples, and you're not competing in a group where you really don't belong.
Carol, one quick question. If you said it, I'm sorry. Do we have to check in on Saturday? I know you said we didn't have to on Sunday.
Negative. No, I prefer you didn't. The radio would get quite busy if everybody decided they wanted to check in. So no, it is not necessary. We'll just take your finishes and score you accordingly.
Same thing for Sunday, no check-in, correct?
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
And where are the race ratings going to be posted?
They'll be posted on the scratch sheets. You'll see them on the scratch sheets for all the boats.
On the website or
on yachtscoring.com. Yes, it'll be on the webpage for the result.
Thanks.
All right.
Any other questions for the RC as far as that goes?
Hi, folks. Hey, this is Mike Austin at Upper Key Sailing Club, and I will need the scratch sheets for my finishing crew, if that's possible. Email them to me or do whatever you need to do to make sure that we know started up north and expecting to finish at Gilbert.
Sure, of course. I have all of your information, phones and otherwise, and I'll make sure that you guys get a copy of that so you'll know what to look for. There are finish times. I mean, the latest finish times for both days is 6 o'clock. So, that's the obligation there for you all and for ourselves.
We'll be on.
Okay.
Thanks, folks. We appreciate it.
No problem.
I don't put the Texas Post in yet, do I?
Okay, are there any other questions for me, rather? So Hans, you want to take it back and kind of wrap things up, or anything else you want to add to it?
Yeah, I'd be happy to, Carol. Thank you so much. And maybe if you can just stop sharing your screen. We're good to go.
Stop sharing. There we go.
Wonderful, thank you. I just want to wrap up by mentioning that, you know, we've probably handed out half of all the packets today. We have packet pickup, as you know, again, tomorrow from 4 to 7 p.m. So for those of you who have not picked up your packets, please come pick them up because you need the number and the flag, if nothing else. We'll be here for you. Carol and I kind of decided to do this meeting virtually, just to stay on the safe side. But as you've seen, we are planning to host our awards party and ceremony in person here at the Miami Yacht Club, outside with the breeze, on May 1st. So we do hope that you come. We'll be handing out the awards and trophies. Also, for all of you who won medals last year, we will have those to hand out as well. All of us have done a lot of Zooming these days. And I hope this Zoom was much more entertaining than what we usually do. Certainly from my perspective, it was. And I want to thank Craig van Eaton and Cyberspeed for that. They did a great job putting this all together today to make it look like you're here with us already and not just in front of your computer screen. So thank you, Craig. Thank you for the team. His video and drone team is going to be at the start on Saturday here to take footage of the start. So that should also provide all of us some really exciting stills and video from boats and from the air. I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you tomorrow for packet pickup and Saturday early on the water. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Hans, this is Enrique from Key Biscayne. Who? No, gone. Hans?
No, he hasn't logged off. You have a question there, Enrique?
No, I wanted to, we had agreed that since he has a very, very large fleet, I'm not representing Key Biscayne right now. I'm the BBYRA, and we want to invite everybody to join BBYRA. We're considering adding multi-hulls, especially the Corsairs that, you know, we see that there's a big group of fleet on the bay, and trying to get more boats participating in BBYRA. We had a spectacular around the island race with good participation. This is great, and we want to invite everybody to join. Look for us at bbYRA.net and try and join for next season. Okay.
Sounds good, Enrique. We're going to charge you for that advertisement, you know.
There you go. Thanks so much.
No problem at all.
Bye-bye.
All right, I think we're good to go. Craig, shall we sign off for everyone?
I have one question real quick.
Go ahead, Cindy.
You know, I think you should let everybody know that the Star Worlds are being on the bay too. So there's another big, I don't know how large the fleet is, but there's a regatta going on out there too. So
Cindy, they're going to be long gone. They will be long gone.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Our
Okay.
starts at 8 o'clock. Those Star Sailors aren't even out of bed yet. So don't.
That's true. That's true. All righty. Well, they'll be
Okay.
out there on Sunday coming back. So good.
Yeah, but by the time these guys get down the bay, they'll probably be finished as well.
Okay.
Not to worry. I think that they can play together.
Okay.
Good night. Thank you.
All right. Good night, everyone.